Paradise Season 2, Episode 4 Ending Explained. What happened to Xavier's wife? Warning, this article contains spoilers for Paradise Season 2, Episode 4, Holy Charge. Paradise Season 2 has featured a variety of major storylines so far, but Episode 4 focused predominantly on Xavier and Annie's alliance as the two headed for Atlanta. Although Paradise Season 2 Episode 3's ending left us on a cliffhanger, within the bunker the latest outing put the spotlight back on the protagonist following up on his encounter with Annie. The two got off to a complicated start as, despite saving Xavier and giving him medical assistance, Annie opted to handcuff him and demanded that he take her to the bunker in Colorado. Xavier remained defiant, claiming he had to find his wife first in Atlanta, with the two eventually agreeing to go there first before returning to the bunker. However, after a heartbreaking tragedy, Xavier was the only one to make it to the city where he encountered a stranger. The man knew exactly who he was and even mentioned Terry, setting up the next chapter in the main character's journey, which will hopefully cement Paradise Season 2 as a must-watch piece of TV. During a Holy Charge's closing stages, Xavier finally made it to Atlanta and tracked down the location of Terrace Radio broadcast. But rather than finding his wife, the protagonist met a stranger instead. Without hesitation, Xavier pulled a gun on him and began asking questions, but the man instantly mentioned he was a friend of Terry. Clearly, he was expecting Xavier to show up at some point, but he didn't have the most cheery of news. During their conversation, the man claimed that Terry had been his best friend for the past 3 years, presumably since the tsunami hit, but she was taken from him, a statement we didn't get any follow-up on. This presumably means that Shez either been kidnapped by bandits or potentially a group that wants her expertise for their own attempt at rebuilding the world, similar to Sinatra's Paradise Season 2 plan. Alternatively, it could mean that Shez been killed, but this would be a bold move, especially after Episode 4's shock death. Considering Xavier left his children behind for this expedition, it would feel like a real anticlimax for Paradise to confirm Terrace's death so early. Therefore, if the stranger is indeed telling the truth, it will likely set up yet another quest for Xavier as he continues risking his life to find the woman he loves. After Paradise Season 2's premiere focused on Annie's survival, dedicating an entire episode to this new character, it felt inevitable that she'd be a major player for the remainder of the series. As a result, her tragic fate in Episode 4 felt like a genuine shock as she passed away shortly after giving birth to her baby. The circumstances looked bleak for Annie, but after Xavier put his faith in some strangers who helped deliver the child, it seemed like this moment was a true miracle. Sadly, Annie continued to bleed, and the group had no way of stopping it, a situation the new mother made peace with, and even expected, hence writing a note for her child. She made Xavier promise to give it to her little girl when she was old enough to track down the baby's father, and most importantly, Annie didn't want her daughter to be afraid of people like she was. This emotional final moment was a devastating surprise, given she was built up so much in Season 2's opening episode. Paradise Season 2 currently holds an 89 Tomatometer score and an 80 Popcornmeter rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Even in death, she looks destined to have a big impact on the remainder of Paradise's story, since Link doesn't know that Shez's dead, nor that he has a child out there, which could impact his mindset. Likewise, it'll motivate Xavier to survive at all costs to fulfill Annie's promise as he now travels alone, albeit the stranger could be his next companion. On paper, this will make the protagonist's journey even harder, but it also gives him a reason to maintain his humanity in such a challenging world. Although his appearance in Episode 4 was brief, Link and his gang have officially arrived at the bunker, and he has every intention of getting inside. Having sourced out the location, he and his group pulled up at one of the entrances, where he held up cue cards featuring various messages, which requested that he be brought to the community's leader. At first, his words were somewhat playful, referencing love, actually, and coming across as mostly peaceful. However, Link's final note revealed that he wouldn't ask nicely for long, suggesting he plans to infiltrate the bunker one way or another, leaving the settlement's fate in the hands of whoever is currently taking charge. Considering President Baines was just killed and Sinatra is under house arrest, this could create even more conflict and tension, as it's unclear who will even make this crucial decision. Regardless, now that Link's group is finally here, something has to give between the biker gang and the protected community, which should make for a fascinating watch. Jeremy's plan could also tie into this, as Hez attempting to challenge the system from within, setting up a major payoff. Whatever happens, Link has been an excellent addition to Paradise Season 2's cast, and with Annie gone, it seems like his next steps will be even more important, especially since he knows how dangerous Sinatra's technology is. Paradise Season 2's 4th episode failed to elaborate on what is currently going on inside the bunker, but a flashback did reveal a little more about Sinatra's secret project. Shez kept her cards close to her chest throughout the series, But it's clear Sinatra has a big plan, since she knows about the future problems that Earth is poised to face. The bunker seems to only be phase 1, as she told a newborn baby, that one day he'll feel the heat of the real sun and see the moon. How she plans on making this happen is anyone's guess, but her hidden technology obviously has something to do with it, and some have even theorized time travel could be involved. With Dr. Luge telling her that the Earth will essentially be crushed by the pressure of greenhouse gases, Sinatra isn't planning on hiding inside this expertly designed bunker forever. Whatever the case, it'll be interesting to see what she has in store as Paradise Season 2 develops, with this ending setting up an uncertain road ahead for the entire cast.